Alright, how's it going, everybody? I wanted to do this video because I recently bought 2 boxes of 92-93 Flair Ultra basketball cards. Really hoped to relive some of my childhood, maybe get some really cool cards, maybe something of value. Unfortunately, I discovered that this set in particular doesn't really contain either one of those things. It did have a lot of nostalgia and some kind of cool cards, so I wanted to go over those. I did some research and I compiled a list of the most sought after and valuable cards in this set. Also included some bonus cards and outliers that I'll get to at the end. A couple things I want to mention before we get started here is, number one, this is not necessarily price guidance, so I'm not telling you exactly what to pay for a card or what you should sell it for. Use your own judgment and your own parameters to make that decision. Next, this data is based on the average of recent sales within the market from a couple different sources. So this isn't not always just the last sale. It's more of an average, and just to give you like an idea. It's not intended to be an exact dollar amount. And then also, I just want to say, do your own research before you make any purchase or complete a sale. Do your own research, gather your own data, and come up with your own calculation or conclusion for what your card is worth, or what the card you're buying is worth. So yeah. But without further ado, we'll start at the top. Number 1 card is the Shaq All-Rookie card. Easily the most popular card in this set. The Shaq All-Rookie card is currently worth about $170 in a PSA 10. However, if you'd like to get it at a much lesser cost, you could probably get it for about $6 or so with a little patience. Number 2 on the list is going to be surprise, another Shaq card. Shaq at this time was a rookie, obviously. He was dominating the card market in 1992, so it's no surprise really that his cards were among the most sought after of any set, and this one is no exception. This is another insert here. It's a Rejector from the Rejector subset. I think there's 5 cards in that subset. His card was number 4 in there. PSA 10 is going to be about $150. Much like the first card that we went over, the raw version is around $5. Number 3 on the list is none other than Michael Jordan. But still sticking with the inserts, as that seems to be where most of the value is in any of these older sets. The 3rd card on our list is the Michael Jordan Jam Session. So fetching right around $125 for his PSA 10, give or take a few dollars. Certainly a nice card to have. Number 4 on the list is the David Robinson Rejector. So another Rejector card. The Admiral. This Rejector card has him, looks like it's AC green, sending him back to where he came from. Another nice card here. PSA 10 is about $115. Big drop off for the raw. It's about $2 on the raw if you want to purchase it off like an eBay or from like a private seller or something. You'd be looking at $2 or $3. Number 5 on the list, Mark Jackson Playmaker. So we switch over from the Rejectors to the Playmaker subset inserts. Surprised me a little bit that this was so high up on the list. I thought it was an outlier at first, but I was able to do some research. There wasn't just like a one-off sale. There were a couple sales within the past month. all over $115. That's the PSA 10. Obviously, bringing that much, we had for much less if you can settle for a lower grade or a raw version of the card. Number 6 on the list, Latrell Sprewell, All-Rookie. Love this All-Rookie series. I don't know if it's just because it brings back some good memories. I don't know what it is, but for some reason I'm drawn to it. I like it a lot. Latrell Sprewell's in our 6th spot. PSA 10, about $90. Number 7 on the list, Harold Miner. Card number 293. The Jordan card that's not a Jordan card, unless you go by his nickname, Baby Jordan. This is his rookie base card. Shows him presumably hitting a fadeaway jumper over Michael. It's safe to say this card benefited a little bit from this photographer's probably perfect angle and timing. Normally probably not worth that much money, but because it's got Jordan in the frame, it seemed to do pretty well. Number 8, the John Stockton Playmaker. PSA 10 is about $80. Not much else to say there. Stockton, legend, Olympian, blah blah blah, great player. Next card, number 9, Isiah Thomas Playmaker. Also PSA 10, about $72. I prefer Isiah over John Stockton. For some reason, Stockton's getting a little bit more value here lately. So I don't know. Very subjective there, but that's kind of what the data shows lately. So, and then the number 10 card on our list is Alonzo Mourning, which I was waiting for him to show up in here because if I remember right, he was a big chase card back in the day. He showed up on number 10 on our list. The Rejector card, PSA 10 is about $70. Raw is going to be a couple bucks again. PSA 9 was like $8. I mean, there's a huge jump between 9 and 10, obviously, which I'm sure everyone knows that already. But cool card, really cool card. I really like these inserts. So those last 3 cards are all around the same price. I don't know, not much else to say about them. Nothing too great. So now we're going to go to, I wanted to create like an honorable mention section to include some of the other cards and a couple of my favorites that didn't quite make the list. This next card was a Hakeem Olajuwon Rejector, honorable mention in my mind. PSA 10's around $70, so it puts him right up there on the end of that top 10 list that we had. Olajuwon does not get, I don't think, the respect he deserves for such as good a player and all-around player as he was. So he was kind of like honorable mention on the list. Sean Kemp is one of my favorites, so that's why this card's on the list. I think it's a great looking card. Striking this phenomenal pose mid-air. It's hard not to look at it in awe at his just athletic capabilities, athleticism, his artistic dunking ability, I guess is what I would call it. So really like this card. I don't actually own this, but I probably will before long, hopefully. We'll do a box break on this in a little bit, and maybe we'll get one. So PSA 10 on that card is going to be about $65. So, of course, this list would seem incomplete without the Shaq base rookie card number 328. It was about $60 with a PSA 10. I want to make sure I included that because Shaq was just such a big thing this year, and that year in particular. So that's how he made the honorable mention list. Now I want to make sure I include a disclaimer. There were some outliers that could have made the list, but didn't quite seem right to me. So I wanted to mention them, even though I didn't feel comfortable putting them on the list. I attribute their high price tags to low pop counts, set collectors who are just paying whatever they have to pay to get a card to complete their set. So mainly I believe it's the scarcity of these cards hitting the market that resulted in the spike in their values. So if you disagree or you have a better explanation, leave a comment. I'd love to know. As you can see here, we're looking at the Tom Gugliotta All-Rookie PSA 10 was $153. If you followed basketball back then, good player, not the caliber as some of the other cards on the list. Clarence Weatherspoon, there's some hype around him. Great player. All-Rookie PSA 10 was $164 on the recent sales. Harold Miner, All-Rookie. You kind of see the theme here. These are all the inserts, the All-Rookies. PSA 10 is $169. And then LaFonso Ellis, same thing. PSA 10 is $150. So very high price tags for what I would say are not the best cards there. So I consider those outliers. I want to make sure I included them, but also with the disclaimer there. So I'm sure I left out some really great cards, but I did want to put this video together really quick. If you have any questions about the cards that could be found, this hopefully answers some of those. It's hard to completely capture accurate values in the sports card market, as you guys are well aware of. A card is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it, and that is literally a moment in time's data. So but hopefully this gives you an idea kind of what's out there, what's possible in this particular series, potential you have, and gives you a little bit of information to keep you better informed or make better decisions if you're looking at trying to buy some of these cards or complete your set or whatever the case may be. So thank you for listening. See you soon.